Welcome, Sagittarius, to your monthly horoscope for June for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. You can now also chat with me directly on Twitter at Horoscope Ace, or if you'd like to receive your free daily horoscope or subscribe to your monthly astrology magazine, please see the link beneath this video. And finally, if you'd like to have a one-to-one personal consultation, please check out my testimonials also beneath this video. So Sagittarius, we continue to live in very changed times. But of course, some countries are emerging from lockdown a bit quicker than others. I think there's going to be a process of freeing up these and then tying them down again. And there will be a series of these as we manage the process through. More technology comes in, more solutions, more testing, and it is all going to be evolving the whole time. But for this month, I'm going to provide some alternative scenarios depending on where you are in your particular situation. And what I'd have to say to you as this month begins is there's a glorious alliance between the Sun and Venus in your sector of relating. Venus is a magical influence. It attracts good things to us. It's not only about relationships. It can be about attracting attention. So if you're a performer or you're someone who has work that you want to share with other people, you can cultivate good feedback at this time. Now this is going to be in your 7th house of relating through to the 7th of August. So you've still got some real time to enjoy its benefits. But there's no denying that Venus is in a retrograde as this month begins, but it is closely aligned to the Sun for the first 5 days. So depending on your unique circumstances, this could bring a closer connection with someone you're already involved with, or the retrograde could bring something into the open that's not quite working. Also, if you're single, it could be that you've been flirting with someone, perhaps online, and you're just really yearning to have that physical connection with them, which of course would be entirely understandable. But the first 3 weeks of this month, broadly, through to day 18, see the Sun also in your sector of relating or competitiveness, or open enemies even, in a right angle to both Neptune, the planet of dreams but distortion, and also Mars. Now Mars conjunct Neptune is going to go on through to the 18th, as I say, and this can see you at a more physical level around where you live, having a little bit less drive, particularly if you're somebody who really likes to have everything running like a well-oiled machine. Perhaps you're going to be feeling a lot more emotional or even sentimental about someone from your past. If there are mixed messages coming from someone in a relationship context, it really can be quite difficult to bear. And the annular lunar eclipse, which occurs in your sign on the 5th of the month, is going to bring all of this into the open more. And although it will peak over the next 2 weeks, broadly this influence does last for 6 months. So if you've got a relationship and the relationship isn't quite working for you in the way you want, some kind of crisis point could be reached. But because of this collection of energy that's working around your situation, you're being asked to not jump too fiercely to any conclusions. Keeping the lines of communication open is going to be a crucial thing at this time, particularly with the North Node, the point of destiny, also now in your sector of relating. So that's giving you a much greater awareness or push to really think about what you get from those closest interactions. Now, in a more practical way, Uranus is sparking brilliantly with Mercury in the first 10 days of this month. So I should just tell you that when it comes to marshalling your resources, practical resources, this can see you quite inspired. and maybe you can bring some imagination or innovation to your work, or a way of approaching something that in the past may have not quite been working as well as you'd like, or perhaps it just needs to evolve, get updated in some kind of way. But let's get back onto that eclipse. In your sign, it's asking you to ask the question of yourself, are your closest relationships meeting your expectations? But there could be some distortion, and that's what you need to be very careful about. Let's be honest, few relationships are absolutely perfect. They all have corners of misunderstanding, or where we don't perhaps get everything we need, even if we love someone deeply. So just be mindful of that. You don't want to get into a situation where you're actually thinking that something has no value to you when it still does. And that no value thinking can come from the fact that Jupiter, your ruler, is in retrograde and conjunct with Pluto, but particularly closely from the 22nd of this month. Now, if marshalling your resources or income has been particularly affected by COVID, or Saturn's transit through your second solar house over the last couple of years, it really wouldn't be a surprise. And there may be more hard work and application that you need to do before Jupiter and Saturn finally move out of the sign of Capricorn at last. Obviously at the moment Saturn is in Aquarius, but it returns to Capricorn on the 2nd of July, but it comes back into Aquarius on the 17th of December. And once that happens and the two come together on the 20th of December, I think that that's going to be a new dawn for you that's really going to move you forwards in the most wonderful of ways. It could be around technology, it could be around your ideas, it could be around your community where you can play a much greater role, it could be around a business idea, but generally speaking, the limitation that Saturn and partly Pluto have put on your earning capacity over the last few years, the handbrake is going to be released as this year comes to a close. And of course, you have that glorious solar eclipse in your sign, which is going to occur on the 14th, which links brilliantly with Mars, the planet of passion, which will be in your sister fire sign of Aries still. So you've a lot to look forward to later this year, but I think that this month is very much about relationships. Now, Mercury is also going to be heading backwards from the 18th, and because it's in the part of your horoscope to do with money owed to you, be very vigilant and very persistent in trying to chase that down. If you're dealing with any kind of technicality or legality around the marshalling of resources, attention to detail will be crucial. Now, on the 20th, the Sun does make its way into the sign of Cancer, joining up with Mercury, of course. Now, for you, I feel this is an opportunity for you to think very carefully about transitions, transformations. And because the solar eclipse, which occurs on the 21st, providing a backdrop of energy for the last part of the year, is in a quincunx with Saturn, getting your ideas working in a way which gives you that sense of development around your self-worth, but in terms of building up something that gives you a sense of security. So it could be around a pension, it could be around a property matter, it could be around a business. You may have to work at balancing some of your enthusiasms with the current reality that COVID-19 has created. Of course, that doesn't make you any different to any of the rest of us, but that particular solar eclipse is going to see you very business-like minded, but also it has to be balanced against your natural desire to be very positive, very progressive, and you may have a bit of a stop-start scenario where you don't quite get to where you want to be immediately, but it does require patience and application. And with Jupiter and Pluto coming together closely from the 22nd, it could be a point where you really have to make some firm decisions about what to jettison, which costs to reduce, which costs maybe to take on. There's going to be some kind of big transformation around your worldview, your resources, and also your personal values. Now, Venus ends a retrograde on the 25th, and that does give you an opportunity to get greater clarity around a relationship, but it is still going to be in shadow pretty well to the end of July. So expect something to be evolving but not quite providing the clarity you might want. But the biggest event of this month for you personally, apart from the annular lunar eclipse in your sign, is the fact that Mars bustles its way into Aries on the 28th, and it's going to be there through to the 6th of January next year. For sure, Mars is going to go into a retrograde for 66 days from September the 6th, and that could see something that you want to come to pass not going at the speed you want. But generally, this is like a huge gust of celestial wind that can fill your sails, give you so much more personal confidence, charisma, drive. And if you are single and you want to bring someone into your world, having Mars in Aries and Venus in Gemini is a very nice situation. Thank you very much. So there's so much to go for this month, Sagittarius, especially around your resources. But I do think a very sensitive relationship matter does need very carefully handling, considering, working through, and perhaps, hopefully, reaching some kind of conclusion for you. If you'd like to find out more about having that one-to-one with me, please, as I said before, see the testimonials below. Or if you've pretty new to astrology or more focused on your sun sign, why not embrace real astrology and check out my written reports also beneath the video. These are great value. You can get 30% off if you get my 12-month forecast character analysis combination, and it will give you so much information beyond just being a Sagittarius, which really will be a turning point in your self-understanding. But for now, stay safe, take care, good luck, and goodbye.